Good afternoon. Just a reminder, please, to wait for the microphone before asking your question and state your name and who you work for. There'll be an embargo at the end for 5 minutes for questions for 10 p.m. UK time this evening.
Trent, good to see you. It's Rob Dorsey from Sky Sports News. How are you finding your first World Cup experience?
Different, obviously exciting as well. I've never really been, well, obviously I've never been to a major tournament before, so I'm excited to be here, and I'm soaking up every minute of it and just trying to get to know the lads and settle into the team as good as possible.
You're obviously the youngest member of the squad. Have you been the butt of any jokes, practical or otherwise?
No, not really, to be fair. The lads are being really good to me, and yeah, they know that age doesn't really matter in football. It's all about your ability, and I think that they understand that. So everyone's got respect for each other in the group, and that's something that works well for us.
How's Gareth Southgate? We heard the news about his dislocated shoulder. How did you hear about the news?
Yeah, he broke the news to us yesterday when he had his arm in a sling in the meeting. So we all obviously were wondering why. So he just broke the news to us, and yeah, obviously we all wish him a speedy recovery from his injury.
What did he say to you? I mean, he had a wry smile on his face, didn't he?
Yeah, he joked about it, and he put in the funniest way possible, and said he hopes no one else had an afternoon like he did, with obviously the injury that he got. So yeah, he tried to put a smile on everyone's face.
Obviously, you've spent some time around Harry Kane now, and you've seen Ronaldo, Diego Costa score goals in this tournament so far as well, as has Harry Kane. How does he compare with the very best in the world, do you think?
Yeah, I think he's an elite striker. He's clinical in front of goal, and he's proved that over the last couple of seasons, and now he's proven it in a World Cup with his 2 goals the other night. And obviously you can't just judge off one game, but his opening game he scored 2 goals, and 2 important goals for the team especially, and it got us the win. And I think from him personally, he prefers to get the team result than his own accolades, and that's why he's the captain of the team.
Talk to me about VAR. We've seen it used in this World Cup to varying levels of success. How do the England team feel about how it's been used so far?
Yeah, I think obviously there's more chance of getting the correct decisions in games, and still we've seen that the officials still haven't got maybe every decision that we've probably seen right, but they're trying their best, and I think with VAR they get the best chance of doing that.
Was there some anger, though, from yourself and maybe the other members of the England side when you saw what happened to Harry Kane against Tunisia and those 2 penalty claims weren't reviewed?
Obviously you want them decisions to go your way, but I think we've spoke about refereeing decisions not going our way, and it's part of the game that not every decision will go your way in football, and you got to get on with the game. So I think we tried to ignore the fact that we didn't get the 2 claims that we claimed for, and yeah, we put that past us, and I think the results and the manner that we won it showed that the lads can put it past them and focus on getting the win in the end, and that's what they've done.
We've seen every single team play in this World Cup now. When you look at the other big nations in this tournament and how they've performed so far, how do you rate England's chances? How do you compare England to the best teams you've seen?
Obviously it's still early days, and most teams have only played 1 game, so it's hard to pick and compare from just 1 game, because teams can have off days and teams can have really good days. So I think no one's really looking at it like that at the minute. So we're just trying to focus on ourselves in camp, and you can't look at teams that aren't in your group at this moment in time, because you're not playing them right now. You're playing the teams in your group, and we've still got Panama and Belgium to play, and they're the 2 teams that we're focused on the most.
Clearly you're competing with Kieran Trippier right now for that starting right wing-back role. How do you think he's doing? He's not making it easy for you, is he?
No, he's a top player. I think yeah, he's proved it throughout the season with Tottenham, and he proved it in the game the other day. And obviously you don't come to a World Cup expecting to get your place straight away. You've got to fight for it, and I think that's what all 23 of us are doing. We're all fighting for our places, and each day in training is competitive. There's basically 2 players to each position, so you you've kind of got direct opponents within training, and you're trying to outdo them, and it takes that standard of training up at an extra level, and essentially it makes us a better players, each and every one of us, if we're training against players who are more motivated to try hard in training. So I think the only positives can come out of training in that sense, and everyone's fighting for a position, and I think you can't rest here. You've got to keep fighting and keep wanting to get your place into the team.
Trent, Steve Scott from ITV News. Some pictures have emerged today of some notes carried by one of the coaches suggesting that there may be changes. There may be a training schedule, but suggest there could be changes in the next team. Presumably by this stage in the week, the squad pretty much knows who's going to be starting at the weekend. Is that correct?
Not necessarily, no. We haven't been directly told of who's starting and who's not, so I think all the positions are still up for grabs, really, and until the manager actually names the team, then it doesn't matter what's came out or what's leaked or anything like that, because I know that the lads don't really focus on stuff like that until it came out the manager's mouth. They're the only words that really matter to us at this moment in time, and we're trying not to get caught up in articles and everything like that. We're trying to focus on ourselves, and I think until the manager names the team, then everyone's still fighting for their position.
Would it be fair to say in any game, if you had information about how the opposition were going to start, how they were going to line up, would that help you? Would that give you an advantage?
Well, yeah, I suppose if obviously we knew how the opposition were going to play, then we could plan for it. We could really prepare ourselves. But I think you never know, and especially in a World Cup like this, there's been surprises so far in the tournament, and I'm sure there'll be many more to come. So. Again, like I said, we're just trying to focus on ourselves.
When Gareth does reveal the starting 11 to the rest of the squad, does he ask you all to keep it to yourselves?
No, but I guess it's just general knowledge to do that, really. You don't want the opposition finding out who's playing and who's not until they're supposed to, essentially. So I think, obviously, you probably want to tell your family and friends and that, but you try and keep it under wraps as much as possible.
Trent, David Ornstein from the BBC. What have you been working on specifically as a team in training? Any set pieces, any specific game plans, that finishing chances, for instance, for a lot of chances missed at the start of the game on Monday? Yeah,
we're focused on all aspects of the game because they're important, and I think you touched on the set piece. I think if you look at the goals scored in the World Cup so far, a lot of them have been set pieces, and it shows that in a tight competition like this, set pieces are really vital. And we scored 2 from set pieces the other day, and it's shown to be a bit of a positive and a threat for us going forward. So I think if we keep working on them and keep focusing on different ways of creating chances and scoring, then there's more chance of us winning games.
Do you think England can get away with missing the sort of chances they missed against Tunisia, against some of the better teams?
No, I'd probably say not, because the high level of opposition you come up against, and the more you get punished, essentially. So you got to be really ruthless in front of goals. When you get the chance to score, you've got to score them in these type of competitions. And I think going forward, if that's hopefully the only game where we've missed several chances, then that's a positive for us, and I think we'll learn from not taking our chances in the first half last game, and we'll push forward in the next couple of games.
Have you been watching many of the other games, and if so, who are the teams that have impressed you so far in the tournament, and how do England, do you think, compare to them?
We try and watch as many games as we can, because I think the whole team, it goes without saying, we love football, so we love watching football. We all get excited to watch other games as fans do with the World Cup. It's 3 games a day. It's every football fan's dream come true to watch so many games in such a short space of time. So we watch as many as we can. But I think, like you said, we haven't really looked into depth of how we compare to other teams. But I'd probably say that there's teams out there that are really doing well, getting results when they need to, and I think you've seen that there's been late goals in games that the teams are getting a point or 3 points in the very last minute, and it just shows that them points are really important to everyone in this competition.
What's it like to be at your first World Cup? Did you manage to explore some of St. Petersburg, or what did you get up to on your day off? And also, what have your friends and family been saying? Can you really believe you're here?
No, I think yesterday we went to St. Petersburg as a family and looked around the beautiful city and seen some wonderful sights, and it's an opportunity to relax and spend time with the family essentially, and to just to enjoy your time out here and take a step back from football when you can. And I think it was really nice to spend time with the family and see a bit of the city, and I've enjoyed the day off when I've been given it, and I'm enjoying my whole time out here. And I think me friends back home are still shocked that I'm here, and they want to know every detail. And it's hard to keep getting asked what's it like. So it's a bit repetitive, but it's one of them. You love to speak about the World Cup and being at your first World Cup.
Just finally, is Dele Alli likely to be fit? Do we know? Is he making good progress from the injury?
I'm not too sure about where he is at the very minute, but I think it's looking positive for him. And I know he's working really hard behind the scenes to get back fit, because no one wants to miss a game, and everyone wants to be available. So I'm sure he'll be working as hard as he can.
When people are asking at home what you're getting up to, did you tell them unicorn racing before the photo came out? No,
definitely not. I think that was just for the lads that played in recovery. We were all at the training ground training. The lads that didn't play, and I think that's just the type of camp that we're in at the minute. We're all full of joy, full of laughter, and really happy about how it's going, and it's a great environment to be in.
Okay, you haven't solved my mystery then, because I was doing a live outside the team hotel one evening, and there was a massive squeal from the swimming pool. What else is going on in there?
I don't know. There's different types of games that get put into the swimming pool every day, to be fair, just to liven it up a bit. So, I know it was like water basketball today. So the lads are just enjoying it every time, because I think if you're just getting in the pool every day, it gets a bit repetitive, and I think the staff behind the scenes are really doing well in keeping us all really entertained.
This tournament has thrown up some surprises. Probably something we were prepared for was Mo not being able to be at his best in this World Cup. Have you or Jordan spoken to him since Egypt failed to progress?
No, I haven't spoken to him. I think he's in his team camp, and I think it's important for him to be with his national team at the minute, and focus on hopefully getting his winning a World Cup on when he plays again in his third game. But obviously it's not good to see one of your teammates not being able to take part in the first game of a World Cup for his nation in such a long time, and he played a vital part in them getting there. But it's one of them. He'll bounce back, and I'm sure next season he'll come back fresh and better and stronger.
You can get some tips for Gareth on how to recover from a dislocated shoulder.
I think it's a similar sort of injury. So I suppose I could probably speak to him all about how we can recover quick from that.
We haven't spoken to you all since Iceland drew with Argentina. Did you all watch that game together?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was together, but I think we all watched it, and it was a surprise. I think many people didn't really see coming, but I think it's a credit to Iceland, the way that they've performed over the last few years, especially. And I think coming from such a small nation to the World Cup and doing so well so far is a credit to them.
Do you think it eased the hurt of the Euro exit to Iceland that even Messi couldn't score against them before the first match?
I'm not too sure. I think obviously a lot of the lads don't really want to go back to that night in France and relive it, because it was such a disappointment. But I think it's important to give credit to such a nation and how they've they've done so well in recent years.
There was that question mark. Do England struggle more against lower teams than they do against the bigger teams, and they get worried that they'll shame themselves? That didn't happen against Tunisia. So going into this against Panama, that really is the fairy tale story of this World Cup. Does the Tunisia game help that as well?
Yeah, I think we've all acknowledged that games come about where you are possibly the favourites to win and the other team's the underdog, and I think all of us have experienced them games in our careers with club and it and some with country obviously, so I think we're all probably we all know what it's like to be the favourite, and maybe there's that little bit of added pressure, but I think the lads went about the Tunisia game perfectly, and I'm sure we'll all prepare for Panama in the same way.
Were you surprised at how many fans did turn up for the match at the opening? How many England fans didn't come to the opening match? Are you hoping the number will be larger for this game?
To be fair, the fans were incredible at the stadium. The support was really good for the team, and it was really positive, and it doesn't really matter about the number of fans to us. It just matters that we know that we've got that support, no matter whether it be back at home or out here. It doesn't really bother us. It just coming out of the game and seeing the videos from the way that everyone celebrated the last minute goal was incredible, and all the lads have seen all the videos, and it just means that bit more knowing that you've got that support coming from back home.
Okay.
And composure on the ball, especially.
Yeah, he's a top quality player, and I think obviously that's why he's been picked to be here out in the World Cup, and I think he showed when he came on the other day that he can change a game as well. So yeah, he's an asset to any team he plays in, with his physicality and the way he can play in the midfield is rare with such a big lad, but he's a top quality player, and he's definitely an asset for us, and I think yeah, if he does get the chance to start, then he'll take it, and he'll put a good performance in.
Okay, we'll end the live section there. Questions.